Hey everybody, welcome back to another Golden's Cast Iron video. I'm your host Brentley Hudson with my wonderful dog Roscoe and my lovely crew, my family, Ella, and my two other kids, Annabelle and Ryder, are in there. We know a lot of people are stuck at home, right? So, as are we. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a video of some easy to do big family recipes that are available to everybody, that you can still find at the grocery stores, that are going to feed a large family, that you'll have a lot of leftovers as well. And so what we're going to do is collard greens, right? Good for you, good tasting, and you can find it. So I got a big bunch of collard greens here, and I'm going to go wash these down and chop them down. The store was out of bacon, right? So what do you find? You can use hog jowl, pork belly, any type of fat back, anything like that you're going to need. A bunch of garlic and onions that we'll chop down. So we're going to get started, kind of get you through, show you how to use all this. Homemade chicken stock that I used as well. So stay tuned. We're excited about showing you this, and we're going to get through it all together, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye. Alright guys, welcome back. So we've got our cooker. Right now it's right about 250. This is perfect where I want it. I've also placed inside a 15 quart braising pot. You can find these at most restaurant supply stores. It is a perfect pot and accessory to have with the Golden's Cast Iron. If you like to do braising, big pots of soup, chili, greens, it is the best way to go about it, I've found. So what we're going to start off with is I took that pound of fat back, or this is pork belly, but you can use hog jowl, anything like that, and I've just cut it into about half-inch lardons, right? Just take it, stack it up, slice it down, and I'm going to just put it in here into the pot, kind of let that mix around a little bit. And as the fat starts to render down, that's what we're wanting. We want to get that fat out of there. So I have it at kind of a low temp. And as that fat starts to render, I'm going to add, I got myself, I cut 2 big white onions down, add that in. You know, it's whatever you can find, right? I prefer sweet onions Videas, but, you know, grocery stores are a little bare these days, which is fine. Everything's going to work its way out, but so I had white onions. I'm going to put the white onions in, let those start to sweat, get a little caramelized, and then I'm going to add some garlic. But we'll kind of walk you through that process as we get to it, so stay tuned, keep smiling, and we're going to have a great cook. So thanks all. Thank you for being here. Alright guys, so got a good little rendering going on here, as you can hear it there. So we're gonna let this fat just kind of cook down. That's where all your flavor's coming from. I want to get it a little bit hot. It's a little hotter than I want, so I'm gonna kind of shut it down just a little bit here. See, it's at 350. I'm gonna cool this down. And yeah, we'll check back in a little bit, so keep staying tuned. Alright guys, we've been letting this go for about 20 minutes or so, so we're going to give it a good check and see how it's going, and oh yeah, that's what we're looking for. Now this is cooked up a little bit more than I would like. That's not a problem, right? It's just crispy pork. Nothing wrong with crispy pork. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to add these onions in so that can start to sweat down and caramelize with all this good pork fat. Now, with your onions, right, you chop off the sides, you get your good rough chop in, but it's important to save those ends and the skin you pull off because it's great for chicken stock, right? If you're going to be cooking whole birds, all the scraps of vegetables, carrots, celery, onions, leeks, anything you have, save that stuff. Because it's great to make chicken stock, beef stock, vegetable stock, anything that you know is good to have now. You know, our grandparents and great-grandparents had to save a lot and put stuff back and use fat back and some other things in hard times. So you know, let's just understand that we can. and just save that stuff and make some stock. It's going to be great. So let's put these onions in here. And you can add a little bit of salt if you want to, but that fatback's got enough salt content in there to do the trick. So again, this is 2 whole onions. We're just going to let that start to sweat down. You can see the crispiness of that pork there, and if you could have some television right now, you would be in all of heaven. Tell you what. So we're just going to let that start to sweat, those onions caramelize down. We're going to add the garlic in a little while. I've got my homemade chicken stock. I'm going to slice the greens up right now, and so they'll have a home in a little bit. So y'all continue to enjoy that for a second, and we'll talk to you soon. Alright guys, so we're going to kind of check these onions out a little bit. I brought a little bit of salt out here. Ooh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. A little bit in there. Now, that salt, what that does is that's going to bring out the sugars in there. But let me show you this here. Again, y'all have to bear with my wonderful camera work, being a one-man crew here. But editing is what it is. Look how good that looks, man. Oh, starting to get the brownness in those onions, and the caramels, the sugars are getting pulled out. That's what we're looking for right there. This is a good base. I haven't even put the garlic in yet. You know what I'm saying? So once that garlic comes in here, my neighbors are going to be banging down the door. Banging down the door to get some of these greens. And then I haven't even put the homemade chicken stock in yet. So, you know, these are all wonderful things that you can do at home while you're here, you know. So just enjoy a little bit of that view. We're going to let these continue to cook down. All those flavors start to bring out and come together. It's going to be great. Alright guys, so I know we're starting in on a tight shot here, but what I want y'all to see is, so I've just got this fresh peeled garlic, and it's easy way. You don't have to sit here and dice this stuff up. Just take your knife, and if you've got a chicken tenderizer or something like that, but what you're really wanting to do is just get here and get this garlic kind of nice and just smush it out. Right? Get those flavors released out of there and get it good, because then you're just going to throw it right into the, you can give it a good chop or two if you want, but the main point here is just to break them up, because they're going to add that flavor down as everything reduces down, and it's going to be great. So there goes one. So stay tuned. I'm going to put all this garlic in here, and it's going to be delicious. So thanks. Alright guys, so what you can do with your collards is, well, I would say if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know how to slice it. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because you may have not worked in a restaurant. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your little bunch of collards and pull them all together. You're going to hold them by the end. You're going to take it and you're going to slice one down the center there, another here, and another around there, and then bunch them up together. Just slice it down like so. Take your stems and put them over. Then you're going to take your collards, put them into your pot here, and then repeat the process. All right. All right, guys. So I've got my collards all chopped in, and they are resting on top of all that goodness, the garlic and everything else. But the piece de resistance, if you will, of the whole thing is going to be my homemade chicken stock. Now I did this probably 2 weeks back with all the leftover leeks and chicken bones and things that I had in the freezer, and I just put it in Ziploc bags in 2-cup portions. Now this is going to take about a gallon, so I'm going to use all the stuff that I have, and then that's just going to cook down. So I'm going to put these little frozen bits of goodness in here, and obviously it's going to take a little while to start to kind of reach and render down. It's going to cool it down, which is fine. This is a long process. It doesn't have to be, but listen, if you can just cook it low and slow and just let all these flavors meld together, the better off you're going to be in the end. So enjoy. I'm going to get all this kind of moving and working, and we'll see you in a little bit. So thanks for hanging in. Alright, so we're going to give a check here to these. And see that frozen chicken stock has started to melt down. So we're looking good there. We're just going to let this cook and boil down, and it's going to take a little while. So we'll check back in an hour or so and just see where we stand. Okay, guys. Alright, guys, so we are up at 350. It's been about probably 30 minutes since we last kind of checked it out, but I wanted to show you kind of where we're standing, what you're kind of looking for. Hopefully we've got a nice rolling bubble in here, so let's bring it back out a little bit and get ready to show you the goodness. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about right there. Right there. Let's get a bit of a big, kind of a slow pull there. So this is what we want. So we want to just kind of give this a good stir, and I'm gonna back the temperature down because now what I want, you can see all those big chunks of garlic in there. Oh man, big old chunks of pork belly, greens. Now this is gonna want to cook down for, you know, you can let this cook as long as you want, you know, as long as you keep adding more stock to it. But I'm just kind of on a limited amount here today. So I'm going to back this down a little bit from 350 down just to get to a good rolling simmer. And there's my timer to tell the kids that they need to switch from homework to playtime. So I'm going to go do that. God bless schools being closed. We're having a good time here with Golden's Cast Iron family. We certainly appreciate you spending some time with us. All right, we'll check back in a minute. Bye-bye. All right, guys, so we're going to give this a good stir, and I think we are almost done. You know. Now, as you see, I put these stems in here, and, you know, I could have left those out really easily, and you know, it's all about getting everything you can out of what you got these days, right? Yeah. So you can eat those stems down, you can pull them out if you want, but I just put them in there to cook down with everything. It's just more flavor, more nutrients, more things to provide your family with as things progress. So I'm gonna pull these off here, and yeah, just let them start to cool, and then I'm gonna be able to feed the family a big old pot of greens for a while. And so thanks for tuning in. We certainly appreciate your time, and thank you for joining the Iron Age. We certainly appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye.